Our benchmarking study, Bicycling and Walking in the U.S., found that almost every major city, including Las Vegas, Kansas City, and right here in San Francisco, have 100% of buses equipped with bike racks. New York City was the only major city in the U.S. where none of their buses have bike racks.
You know, I've been all over the United States. In just about every city I go to, I see bike racks on buses. Small cities, big cities, East Coast, West Coast, it doesn't seem to matter. Why doesn't New York City have any bike racks on their buses? As I've been traveling, I've been documenting how bus bike racks are doing in other cities. And I've been talking to city officials and commuters about it. In these cities, bus bike racks are a way of life.
Actually, every one of our buses now has them as standard equipment. They've had them since 2001, when the region's funding jurisdictions basically got together and said that that's something that they wanted. They used federal congestion mitigation and air quality funds to fund the retrofit of the buses. But ever since then, we've basically gotten them as original equipment with our buses, and so now the entire fleet is equipped and it just comes, it's standard operating procedure.
I'm actually a multimodal commuter. It depends on the day, but either I'll use a scooter, which is an adult kick scooter, or I have my bicycle. I haven't found a single bus in Los Angeles in the past 10 or 15 years that doesn't have a bike rack.
Especially in Seattle, it's really important to have multimodal options here because the city's really spread out. There are a lot of bridges, a lot of places that cyclists can't ride across, and so getting a bike on a bus is critical.
We actually have as one of our mission statements trying to encourage a seamless link between bicycles and other kinds of non-motorized modes. And we've repeatedly heard from bus drivers that most bicycle commuters are extremely fast. Most of them are able to load their bikes and get on the bus at the tail end of the passenger loading, so it doesn't really hold up buses.
Putting bikes on buses doesn't slow buses down at all, not an issue.
One of the proposals that we received from Met Transit for funding is to increase the capacity of the bike racks from 2 to 3 bikes.
Why do I ride the bus in combination with my bike? Well, it saves money and it saves me time, and I don't have to look for parking.
For bicyclists, having the racks on the buses is a great lifeline as well. I've actually flatted twice in places where it's going to be awkward for me to get home with a flat, and it's just been a great lifeline to have.
And I grew up in Los Angeles, and when I entered high school, my parents moved to the suburbs, and so there are a lot of distances suddenly that I found very easy to travel by using a bike and then the bus.
Listen, I know that New York City's in the middle of a big budget crunch, but we really need to start looking to the future and consider these types of bike accommodation to encourage multimodal usage. There are plenty of places in the 5 boroughs that do not have easy access to subways, and we should test some pilot programs. So, where to start? I'm standing here on Staten Island, and bike racks on buses would make so much sense for Staten Islanders, so they could better interact with the Staten Island Railway, the ferry, and make easier cross-island trips throughout the borough. We should also make it mandatory to put racks on all buses that cross bridges that are inaccessible to bikes. For example, the Verrazano Narrows Bridge. And in addition, I'd put bus bike racks on all the routes that connect Queens and the Bronx. So come on, New York City, I think this is a reasonable proposal. Lots of other cities have bus bike racks. Why don't we try it out? What do you think?